The morning after the divorce papers hit the mail, Hayato opened his door to silence. On the doormat, where he almost crushed it, a bento box wrapped in a pink furoshiki. He crouched, saw steam rising from the cloth. It was fresh.
Who leaves food at a stranger's door? Is this some kind of mistake or a prank?
When he peeled back the cloth, the scent of dashi filled the air. Golden tamagoyaki, braised greens, and a heart of rice. A small handwritten card bore 2 words, "Eat well."
The first bite of omelet landed like a punch. Someone had made this with their own hands. For me, last night I ate instant ramen straight from the cup. This tastes like a promise I forgot existed.
By the 5th morning, the wall clock struck 6. A soft sound cloth on concrete. Another bento had arrived.
I don't know your face, your name, or why you chose my doorstep. But I will find out. I have to.
He waited until his legs cramped, eye pressed to the cold peephole lens. At the first gray light, a figure entered the frame. Lavender hair, yellow cardigan, a bundle in her arms. She knelt, set the bento on the doormat gently, and rose to retreat.
There, that's it, right in front of me.
He didn't think. He grabbed the handle and threw the door wide.
Wait, please just tell me why.
The girl froze for half a heartbeat, then bolted, lavender hair streaming behind like a curtain torn loose. Hayato lunged after her, but his bare feet skidded on the polished floor. All that remained was the bento lying on its side.
That hair. She lives right next door. Apartment 22. I've seen her by the mailboxes. Why would my neighbor leave food for a stranger? And run like she's terrified of being seen?
Hayato picked up the fallen bento. The pink furoshiki had dust on one corner, but the box was still warm.
She ran because I scared her. Returning the food is the right thing to do, but I need to know why she's been leaving them.
He walked to apartment 202, the door with the tiny cat sticker, and knocked. 3 firm raps, silence. Then, a frantic rustle as if someone pressed against the other side.
I'm your neighbor from next door. I have your bento. Please, can we talk for a minute?
A voice, barely louder than breath, seeped through the wood.
Please, just leave it on the floor. I can't open the door. I'm sorry.
His hand froze on the doorframe. This wasn't mere embarrassment. It was raw, debilitating fear.
I have severe social anxiety. Cooking for you calmed me. I saw you alone, and I thought someone needed to eat the food I made.
She saw me as lonely, and instead of words, she gave me bento.
He placed the bento gently beside her door and retreated to 203. The hallway seemed to hold its breath. In his dark apartment, he lay on the futon, replaying the divorce, the empty rooms, and now this inexplicable gift. Morning came. He opened the door to nothing, no pink cloth, no note, just bare tiles.
I never thought I'd miss a stranger's cooking this much. Those bentos were the only thing I looked forward to.
That night, a soft rasp, an envelope slipped under the door. He scooped it up. The handwriting was tiny, almost apologetic. "I'm sorry I ran. I made an extra bento, it's in the fridge. Please eat, May."
She didn't forget me. Even after I scared her, she made sure I wouldn't go hungry.
He tore a page from his notepad and wrote a quick reply.
This tastes like a second chance. I'll write to her again. Maybe we can find a way to talk that doesn't need a voice.
He pushed his reply under her door in the thin darkness before dawn. "Thank you, May. I'm Hayato. The bento was the best meal I've had in months." By the time the sun touched the hallway, her answer lay on his doormat.
She works from home? That explains the quiet. She's probably always here.
In her apartment, May bent over her notepad, circling around what to share next. By evening, a longer note appeared under his door, the handwriting more relaxed. "I watch Midnight Kitchen every week. Do you know it? My grandmother taught me to cook, and that show reminds me of her."
We watch the same late-night cooking show? This feels like the universe is pranking us.
On the other side of the wall, May pressed her reply to her chest and smiled.
One note becomes 2, and now I actually look forward to these exchanges more than the bento.
He wrote about the divorce without softening it. "It was like my marriage ended and I became a ghost. Your bento was the first thing that felt real." May read his words twice. Then she uncapped her pen and wrote until her fingers ached. I know that ghost feeling. I've been hiding so long I forgot what sunlight felt like. You're not alone, Hayato.
She gets it. Someone finally gets it, and she's right on the other side of this wall.
The notes quickened. A slip under the door became the best part of every day. I've been practicing every morning. Maybe soon I can do the thing I've been afraid of for years.
She's practicing to face me. This could actually happen.
On the other side, May stood before the mirror, fingers on her throat, mouthing silent syllables.
I'll wait as long as it takes, but I really want to meet her.
A week later, at 2 a.m., an odd sound crept through the wall, a low, rhythmic hum. The humming paused, followed by halting breaths, sharp intakes, and slow releases, as if someone were straining.
That's not singing. It's like someone fighting to make a sound.
The noise repeated the next night, and the next, always after midnight, always from apartment 202.
I can't ignore this. I'll ask carefully.
May, I've heard humming and breathing exercises at night. Is everything okay? By morning, her reply was waiting. Don't worry, just breathing exercises for my anxiety. They help me stay calm. Sorry for the noise.
Breathing exercises? That didn't sound like anxiety relief. It sounded like practice, deliberate.
The humming continued every night. Now he noticed the pauses between sounds held a strange, frustrated discipline. The next morning, when he hauled out the recycling bag, a torn envelope caught his eye near May's bin. Inside the envelope, a pamphlet peeked out, diagrams of a human throat with exercise circles. The title in crisp medical font, Post-Surgery Vocal Cord Rehabilitation.
Vocal cord surgery. The humming, the strained breaths. It all clicks. She physically can't speak. She isn't just anxious. She's been recovering from an operation, likely for months.
He slid the pamphlet back, hands unsteady. The wall that separated them now felt like a lie. He didn't knock. Instead, he left the envelope where he found it and retreated to his apartment. That night, the humming resumed. Now he heard the aching gap between each note, a voice struggling to be born.
I won't force it, but when she's ready to tell me, I'll be here.
The hallway between 203 and 202 had never felt so thin and so impossibly wide. Hayato sat with his notepad, choosing words that wouldn't betray what he'd found, but still asked the real question. May, you mean more to me than a mystery. If there's something you've been carrying alone, I'll listen. No judgment. He slid the note under her door at dawn, then retreated. Hours passed. May found the note and pressed it to her chest before uncapping her pen with trembling resolve. By evening, a thick envelope slipped under Hayato's door, pages of handwritten confession. Hayato, I had surgery to remove a nodule on my vocal cords 4 months ago. I couldn't make a sound for weeks. The anxiety was true, but mostly I was ashamed. The humming you heard is part of my therapy. My voice is coming back, but slowly. I'm terrified it will crack when I finally try to speak to you.
She's been fighting alone with her body, not her mind, and she chose to trust me with this.
Cooking for you was the one thing I could do when I felt useless. Thank you for eating my food, even when I was a stranger.
You were never a stranger. I'll wait. I'll be right here until your voice is ready.
He didn't sleep. Instead, he filled a page with a promise, his pen racing against the doubt. I'm not going anywhere. Take all the time you need. I'll be waiting right here. At dawn, he left his reply under her door along with a warm onigiri he'd shaped himself. May's reply came that evening, the paper still faintly smelling of broth. My doctor says a few more weeks. Thank you for waiting. Truly. Her note included a tiny sketch, a bento with a love-shaped tamagoyaki.
She's sharing her dreams with me.
The days blurred into one another. He marked each morning on the wall calendar, willing the weeks to pass faster. In return, he slipped a photo under her door, the sunset from his balcony. She wrote back that it was now pinned above her desk. The notes piled into a small stack on his low table, each folded page a brick in the bridge they were building.
I'll keep writing until the ink runs dry, because when you finally speak, I want your voice to be the first sound I hear.
The weeks that followed melted into one another, marked only by the red circles on his wall calendar. Then one morning, a familiar rustle, a note slid under the door. but the handwriting seemed bolder this time. Hayato, the doctor cleared me. Next week, I'll try to speak.
His pulse hammered against his ribs. This was it. The wall between them was about to crack.
He decided he would cook for her this time, a bento to match the ones she'd given him.
But his first tamagoyaki came out like a blackened sponge. The second wasn't much better. How could she pour so much care into each meal while I can't even get the egg right?
He practiced until the counter was a battlefield of broken eggs, but the week seemed to mock him with its speed.
Tomorrow I might hear her voice, if I haven't ruined everything else.
The red X on the calendar glared back, a silent countdown to a moment neither could predict. That night, a note slipped under his door, the paper slightly crumpled as if clutched too tightly. What if I can't do it? What if my voice comes out wrong and you regret waiting?
She's terrified. After all these months, the final push is the hardest.
He filled his reply with everything he'd been holding back. I don't care if your voice shakes or cracks. I want to hear you, whatever it sounds like. He taped the note to her door in the darkened hallway, not slipping it under this time. Inside 22, May read his words and pressed her hand to the wood, as if she could feel his presence.
He's not giving up. Neither can I.
He lay awake, his ear against the wall, listening to a silence that felt louder than any storm.
Tomorrow, no matter what, we'll face it together.
Dawn climbed the walls. Hayato stood behind his half-open door, counting the seconds. Then, a slow creak, May's door opened a few inches. She emerged, bare slippers silent on the tile. Her cardigan hung unwrapped, her hands clenched at her sides. Hayato stepped out and bowed formally. "Take your time. I'm here." May's lips parted. She drew a breath that seemed to cost her everything. A thin, reedy whisper escaped. Not a word, only the ghost of air. Her eyes filled instantly. She clapped a hand over her mouth, muffling a sob, and bolted back into 202. The door clicked shut. Hayato stood alone in the hallway, staring at the space she'd left. Inside, May pressed her back to the door, silent tears streaming, the mirror catching her broken reflection. The hallway fell still again. Only a single tear-stained note lay on the floor between the two doors. Hayato slid a fresh note under her door before the tear stains on the floor could dry. "It's okay. We'll wait longer. Take all the time you need." He pressed his ear to the thin wall. Through the plaster, stifled sobs stuttered like a voice that couldn't escape.
I can't do anything. I'm just standing here while she breaks on the other side.
Morning came, then another. The hallway between their doors stayed silent and bare. No bento, no rustle of paper. On the fourth day, he left a small bag of groceries outside 22. Rice, eggs, a block of tofu.
She might not be eating. If she won't cook for me, maybe she'll cook for herself if the ingredients are there.
He heard nothing from inside. No hum, no clatter of dishes. The cat sticker on her door seemed to watch him.
Is this it? Has she given up on everything? Including me?
The bag vanished by morning. No note, no sign. Just an empty hallway and a silence that answered nothing. After a week of silence, Hayato found a small note taped to his door as the morning light broke. "I'm sorry. The doctor said to be patient. Give me a few more weeks. May."
Relief flooded his chest. She hadn't given up. She just needed more time.
He wrote back immediately, his pen steady. "I'll wait as long as it takes. Just knowing you're still trying is enough." That evening, a note slipped under his door, and this time, a tiny drawing of a smiling onigiri accompanied the words. "Thank you for not leaving. I promise I won't stop." The notes resumed, lighter than before. She wrote about new recipes she wanted to try. He replied with terrible kitchen jokes.
It's not over. We're still building something, one note at a time.
He taped her onigiri drawing to the wall calendar, beside the circled date, a reminder of what they were waiting for. Over the next weeks, May's notes came faster, the handwriting bolder. She wrote about her therapy sessions with a new lightness. "My therapist says my vocal muscles are strengthening. I can hold a note for 5 seconds now. It feels like a victory."
5 seconds. That's more than air. That's a sound.
A few days later, "I can hum a whole tune now. It's wobbly, but it's mine."
He grinned and wrote a reply before he could overthink it.
"Then hum something for me. How about happy birthday?" That evening, he pressed his ear to the wall. A faint, uneven melody crept through the plaster, halting but unmistakable. He couldn't help it. A surprised laugh burst out, light and brief. Minutes later, a note taped to his door made the laughter catch in his throat.
She heard me. She wrote back, "We're really here."
That evening, a note slid under his door, thinner than any before. On it, 2 lines in her boldest handwriting. "Tomorrow I'm ready. May."
Tomorrow? The word thudded in his chest.
He didn't sleep. He straightened the cushions, wiped the counter, then sat by the door as dawn bled through the window. At 10, a knock, soft, deliberate. He opened the door to find her, pale but standing straight. She drew a breath that seemed to pull from the bottom of her lungs. Her lips parted.
Hayato-san, thank you. For the food. For every meal.
The words trembled, but they were hers. They cut through the months of silence.
And then, because there was nothing else, he stepped forward, his hand brushing hers.
She smiled, a tear slipping down her cheek, and for the first time they both heard the silence end. He stepped aside, and for the first time, no walls stood between them. She sat, her fingers drifting to her throat as if to remind herself it still worked.
That long letter. I nearly crumbled just writing it. I was so afraid you'd run.
Your notes and bentos pulled me from a grave I'd dug. You made me hungry to live again.
When you moved in, you looked so broken. I thought, maybe someone out there needs to eat the food I can't stop making.
Her hands slid across the table. Their fingers brushed, the first deliberate touch. He blinked hard. A single tear traced his jawline and he didn't wipe it away. She was crying too quietly, but her smile held everything she'd been unable to say for months. Between them, 2 phantom bento boxes, one she'd made, one he'd learned to make, sealed a promise forever. They stayed like that, 2 people who'd found each other through food and silence, finally hearing the sound of home.
My voice will get stronger every week, the therapist says. Maybe I'll even sing one day.
From that first bento, I think I started to fall for you. Every morning, you fed something I'd lost.
And me too. I fell for the man who waited behind a door for a voice that didn't exist.
They laughed, a startled, honest sound that pushed the loneliness out of the room.
Let's cook together soon. I've been failing at tamagoyaki for weeks. You'll have to teach me.
I'd like that. I'll show you how to make the eggs fluffy, not blackened.
Their hands met again over the empty bento box, a quiet contract sealed in gentle pressure. A new day was already taking shape between them, one filled with recipes instead of notes.
To think it started with a note that only said, "Eat well." She gave me back my appetite for everything.
On the table, the last chopstick from his bento rested beside the pink furoshiki, the morning's final evidence of a promise kept. As evening softened the hallway light, Hayato walked Mei to her apartment door, the very door he'd once stood outside, heart racing, desperate for a single word.
See you tomorrow then?
I'll leave a bento at your door. Consider it payback for all those mornings.
They laughed, a sound that filled the narrow corridor, pushing out the ghosts of old solitude. Mei opened her door. The tiny cat sticker seemed to wink as she slipped inside. Hayato remained still, gazing at the closed door, the hallway now a cathedral of quiet miracles.
The mystery that began with a pink cloth and 2 words became a voice I'll chase every morning.
He turned and walked the few steps to his own door, the distance between them now measured in heartbeats, not silence. Tomorrow already glowed on the other side of the wall, wrapped in an invisible pink furoshiki. The hallway stretched on, but between those 2 doors, something had forever shifted, a voice that had finally found its home. A few mornings later, Hayato opened his door to a bento wrapped in pink, a note peeking from the knot. He unfolded the paper. The handwriting was Mei's, but the words were new, made with voice and love. Mei.
She wrote love. After all the silence, she put it into a word.
Inside, he set the table and lifted the lid. The tamagoyaki was golden, the rice perfectly fluffy.
Every bite I take now tastes like her courage and the love she learned to say out loud.
Steam rose from the rice, a fragile little cloud that smelled of dashi and patience. When the chopsticks stilled, he traced the edge of the furoshiki with his thumb, as if it were a love letter. Through the wall, A soft hum drifted. May practicing, he smiled and hummed back. The two doors stayed shut, but the silence between them had finally learned how to sing, a duet of bento and belonging. Later, the afternoon light slanted across Hayato's low table. May entered without knocking, a bento in each hand.
I practiced saying let's eat together. It came out wobbly, but here I am.
Wobbly is good. Wobbly is you.
They ate in a comfortable rhythm, her voice rising and falling like a melody still learning its key.
Sometimes I still hover near the door, afraid I'll choke. Then I hear you humming and I remember.
You're not alone in that. I hear your hums like a cue to start my day.
Two bento boxes, open and nearly empty, sat between them like witnesses. A single chopstick rested across the rim, grains of rice clinging to it like final stubborn words. Some things are better said with food, and sometimes a bento is the beginning of everything. She reached across and his hand met hers on the table, where the last bento had been, a touch that needed no voice.